Good morning, beloveds. As I fuss with my hair, I officially go back to work today. I mean, yesterday, yeah, but today is the day that I go back to the 8-hour mortgage paying job. And don't get me wrong, I love my job. So I'm just like, and the funny thing is I have to work 7 days and then I get 5 more days off. Because they decided that, the family is going to work Christmas Eve and they're only going to be there from 10 to 1. And then we're going to, since Christmas is on a Thursday, we're going to go ahead and be closed Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So I'm kind of excited. But yeah, so I go back to work today. Okay, we are doing Your Spiritual Power. Let's do the housekeeping. And all the housekeeping is me reminding you, we are Creative Life Spiritual Center. Website is creativelife.org. Constant contact email, info@creativelife.org. That gets you 1 email a week. Let you know what's going on for the week and the month. And the hot links are hot. If it says click here now, it means it. And then, and it's a blind CC. Nobody's going to see your email. You won't end up on anybody else's email list because of us. So there is that. Now, and I said 1 a week, and I mean that. Almost the only reason you would get another one is if there is weather. We live in the Gulf Coast. Weather happens. So there's that. Now, okay. Social media. I mentioned the social media merely from the standpoint of we do not monetize it. So we don't want to deal with the ads any more than you do. So what we ask you to do instead is to go like, subscribe, follow based on which platform it is. And then we will, and then engage with the individual posts. So react to the post, comment on the post, share the posts. It bumps us in the algorithms. More people see our stuff, which is the goal of social media. So it is a free and easy way you can support the center. And we are Creative Life Spiritual Center or Creative Life Spark based on which platform you are on. And I am the running Rev Ryan across all the platforms that I am on. And I mention it for the main reason being is that if you wonder where these go to live, like if you want to go back and listen to previous books that I have done, they are archived on the Running Rev Ryan YouTube channel. I didn't want to clutter up the Creative Life one. There's enough on there. So, yeah, there's that. Okay. So, Your Spiritual Power is a collection, it says so right here, or Reverend Norm would call it a library. It is a library of some of Ernest Holmes' rarer works that you might not find anywhere else. We happen to be, and we're almost done. I actually need to figure out how many articles I have left, because do I need one by the end of the week? I don't know. But it's a collection of his Science of Mind magazine articles. Discover a Richer Life, Think Your Troubles Away, and Living Without Fear are all collections of his magazine articles, which explains why they have such a different tone from some of his books. And I was really excited to discover that. We happen to be doing, I think we're doing Think Your Troubles Away. Maybe I should put my glasses on. Yeah, we're doing Think Your Troubles Away. And we are in part 2 of Think Your Troubles Away. So the article that we are doing today is Your Word is Law. The universe is not only a spiritual system, it is an orderly system. We are living under a government of law, always, whether we deal with the mind, the body, or the spirit, whether we are dealing with physics or metaphysics. Although the law is subject to the spirit, this does not mean that the spirit is capricious and may create a law only to break it. Instead, the law is always subject to spirit in that it is spirit's servant, just as all the laws of nature are our servants and obey us insofar as we understand them and properly use them. And I find that statement really interesting just from the standpoint of, I was watching The Matrix. think it was the second, maybe the third Matrix. I'm not sure. And Neo had gone to see the Oracle, and he's like, but you already know. She offers him a candy, and he says, but you already know whether I'm going to take it or not. And so he's like, okay, well, why can't I see past this point? And she says, you have to understand. You've already made the choice. You need to understand why you've made the choice, because we can only see up to the point of the choice that we understand the choices that we make. And so he's making the same point here. Like, we're using these laws, and the better we understand them, the more effective use we will make of them. It's like, we can't break the laws. We can't circumvent these laws. These laws are, but if we learn and understand them, we will make a far better use of them. And so I was like, oh, look at Hollywood teaching me something spiritual. Although, if you've watched The Matrix. So, all right. The spirit, being omniscient, understands and properly uses law, which is part of its own nature. Hence, spirit never contradicts its own nature, is always harmonious and complete within itself, and exists in a state of perpetual perfection. While it always acts in accord with the law of its own being is perfect and never contradicts its own law. The law is a willing and obedient servant. The spirit is a gentle taskmaster. We are like nature to this supreme spirit. We exist within it, having arrived at a state of consciousness whereby we can consciously approach it, believe in it, receive it. In recognizing spirit, we may use the law, which is its servant, hence the law becomes our servant. We are intelligent beings living in an intelligent universe which responds to our mental states. And see that right there? It responds to our mental states, which means that if you look around your world and you don't like the way it looks, maybe you need to check your mental state. Check the trend of your thoughts, the pattern of your thoughts. Check your mental states. So, insofar as we learn to control our mental states, shall we automatically control our environment? And yeah. Okay, we are in relationship with other people, so we only have so much control where we bump up against other people. But still, it's the only person we can actually fix, the only person we can actually change is ourselves. Now, when we change ourselves, it changes the way we interact with people, and those people may also change. So, this is what is meant by the practical application of the principles of science and mind to the problem of everyday living. This is what is meant by demonstration. Naturally, the first thought of the average person is that they would like to demonstrate health of body, peace of mind, prosperity in their affairs, to neutralize the circumstance which is unhappy, or to attract to themselves some good which they have not been enjoying. Such a desire is natural and in every way normal. And the possibility of such demonstration already exists within the mind of every living soul. Every person has within themselves the power to consciously cooperate with the spiritual aspect of their existence in such a way that it will create for them a new environment and a greater happiness. But the greatest good which this philosophy of life brings to the individual is a sense of certainty, a sense of the reality of their own soul, of the continuity of their own individual being, and the relationship of their apparently isolated self to the greater whole. The greatest good that can come to any person is the forming within them of an absolute certainty of themselves and of their relationship to the universe, forever removing the sense of heaven as being outside of themselves. or the fear of hell, or any future state of uncertainty. Humanity is part of life, some part of the eternal God. Humanity is forever reaching out, forever gaining, growing, expanding. The Spirit is forever expressing itself through us. Such an understanding teaches us that there can never come a time when we shall stop progressing. Also, that age is an illusion and that limitation is a mistake. That unhappiness is ignorance and that fear is uncertainty. We cannot be afraid when we know the truth, and the greatest good accompanying such an understanding of truth will be the elimination of fear. This understanding will rob a person of their loneliness and give them a certain compensation in that sense of security which knows that spirit responds by corresponding, a peace without which no life can be happy, a poise which is founded on this peace, and a power which is the result of the union of peace and poise. Okay. We can be certain that there is an intelligence in the universe to which we may come, which will inspire and guide us, a love which overshadows. God is real to the one who believes in the Supreme Spirit, real to the soul which senses its unity with the whole. Every day and every hour we are meeting the eternal and ultimate realities of life, and in such a degree as we cooperate with these eternal realities in love, in peace, in wisdom, and in joy, believing and receiving, we are automatically blessed. It is not by a terrific mental struggle or emotional effort that we arrive at this goal, but through quiet expectation, a joyful anticipation, a calm recognition that all the peace there is and all the power there is and all the good there is love, the living Spirit Almighty. A spiritual mind treatment is a definite act of the conscious mind. A definite act of the conscious mind, setting the law in motion for the idea specified in the treatment. The one giving the spiritual mind treatment believes that their word is operated upon by an intelligence, or by an intelligent creative agency, which has at its disposal the ways, the methods, the means, and the inclination to make manifest their treatment at the level of their faith in it, creating those circumstances which would be the logical outcome of the ideas embodied in their treatment. If we wish to demonstrate supply, we would not say, I am a multimillionaire, but we would seek to realize that infinite substance is limitless supply. We would say, I am surrounded by pure spirit, perfect law, divine order, limitless substance, which intelligently responds to me. It is not only around me, but it is also in me. It is around and in everything. It is the essence of perfect action. It is perfect action in my affairs. Daily, I am guided by divine intelligence. I am not allowed to make mistakes. I am compelled to make the right choice at the right time. There is no confusion in my mind, no doubt whatsoever. I am certain, expectant, and receptive. Which, that's a masterclass in how to do that. If it resonates with you, use it. And if it doesn't, change any words you need to. Because Ernest always says, when you are doing treatments, make sure to use words that make you feel, that resonate with you. You know, like if that was cold and clinical, zhuzh it up is the way. Where's that word? I think Jesse used that word. Zhuzh it up. Okay. As the result of the statements such as these, we re-educate our mind, recreating and redirecting the subject state of our thoughts. It is the subjective state of our thought which decides what is going to happen to us, and because the subject state of our thoughts often contradicts our conscious desire, a sense of doubt arises. When we affirm the presence of good, any sense of doubt is but an echo of previous experiences. It is the judgment according to appearances which we must be careful to avoid. For, unless we are conscious that we are dealing with a transcendent and creative power, how can we expect to demonstrate at all? We must never lose sight of this power. The demonstrations produced through the specific use of this power are in spiritual mind treatment are the result of the operation of the law, which is in no way limited to any present existing condition or circumstance. Principle is not bound by precedent. Okay? It's a statement we repeat to ourselves on a regular basis. Which is in no way limited. Evolution itself should prove this to be self-evident. And the one seeking to use this power intelligently and constructively must have some sense and some inward conviction that they are dealing with an immutable creative law. Why these things are so, no one knows. But experience has repeatedly proved that we can use this law. It is never a question as to whether the law is able or willing, but rather a matter of our conviction that it does respond. The beneficial action of the law in our lives is conditioned only by our belief. The law is both able and willing, and we might say that the only limitations it imposes upon us are these. The law cannot do anything that contradicts the divine nature or the orderly system through which the divine nature functions. It must always be true to itself. The law cannot give us anything we cannot mentally and spiritually accept. In these two propositions, we find the only limitations imposed upon our use of the creative law. But these are not limitations at all, for we do not wish anything contrary to the divine nature, nor can we expect either spirit or law to make us a gift we do not accept. There is really, then, no limitations outside our own ignorance. And since we all can conceive a greater good than we have so far experienced, we all have within our own minds the ability to transcend previous experiences and rise triumphant over them. In order to accept our greater good, we must raise our mental equivalence to reach the level of good desired. So we can talk about our cup of acceptance. Well, maybe we need to trade that cup in for a bowl. And then we can trade that bowl in for a bucket. And then we can trade that bucket in for a tub. And then we can trade that tub in for a swimming pool. See what I'm saying here? It's like you can receive as much good as you believe you can. And frequently what gets in our own ways is worthiness issues. And where we learn those worthiness issues, well, there's a lot of places that we learned them. So now is a good time to unlearn them. There's a quote in the Bible about the lilies in the field and the sparrows. So the lilies in the field do nothing, and yet they are arrayed more beautifully than Solomon in his own temple. So, you are worthy. You are a beloved expression of the divine. The biggest thing that you have to get past is that. Believe that you deserve the good. Believe that you are good, and believe that you deserve all the good, and know that as you believe that you deserve the good, so does everybody else. Because what you want for yourself, you gotta want for everybody. It's a whole system. So that's it. It really is that easy. And yet, like, it is the most simple system and yet the hardest. And I get that. And that is why we practice every day. Every day. All right, beloveds. Speaking of which, I'm going to move on into the practice of my day. So I'm going to remind you, encourage you to have a great day, wondrous day, fantastic day, magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a take care of business day, a take care of yourself day, a do what you got to do day, a bundle up because it is literally freezing out there day. And by Wednesday, it's going to be back in the 70s. Go figure. The weather here, as I said, the weather here is just what it is. So I try not to complain about it too much because I choose to live here. All right. And so drink plenty of water, bundle up and stay warm, cuddle your fur babies, tell somebody you love them, day, you got this day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, for some people on Mondays, it is. I mean, I enjoy Mondays. I don't have any particular issues about Mondays. What was I? Simply have a day. You are enough, just as you are. You are a beloved expression of the divine. You are spirit in motion, God in action, a beautiful masterpiece and a work in progress at the same time, a brilliant light and a divine spark at the same time. And as Reverend Jesse likes to say, you're a godling. So explore the truth of your being. I mean, that's the biggest thing. If you want to work with the divine, get to know who you are. Get to know who the divine knows you to be and know more of who you are. Because the divine knows you to be good. It's all the divine knows. And from there, anything is possible. All right, beloveds, I'm going to move on into the process of my day. I'm going to remind you, Reverend David should be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9:15, somewhere in that window. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved. I will see you next time.